Thanks everyone for tuning into another episode of EC Techie. This week I wanted to go over some of my favorite products, not only for me specifically, but for my friends as well. So you're going to see 4 different of my friends going over their favorite products. I'm going to ask them a few questions, kind of like an interview style. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a little bit different this week, but let's hop into it. All right, so go ahead and tell us who you are.
My name is Christian Crawford of the PhoneBuzz podcast affiliation. What up, what up, what up?
Yes, so if this looks different, obviously it's changed. We're using the podcast setup since he is on the podcast with us, and we're all, so that has changed a little bit. But so in regards to this episode, I wanted to go over everyone's favorite tech products. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and tell me either, you can do 1, 2, however many you want to do, but tell me what your favorite tech product or products are.
Okay, so I thought about this for quite a bit, and it came down to a couple options, but I'll just go ahead and spill the beans. Okay. My favorite tech product of the year, if I can get it out of my skinny jeans. They said I had skinny jeans on the podcast last week. I guess I do. I don't know. Are the AirPods Pro, not the AirPod Pros.
Okay.
The AirPods Pro.
I like it.
And I know you said somebody else said the same thing.
That's okay. That's okay.
But legitimately, these are my favorite tech gadget. I have them on me every single day. And if you've listened to the podcast, I used to talk about the Soundcore, the Anker Soundcore Liberty Pro Air.
The gray ones?
It's a stupid name,
yeah.
They're great headphones for like $70. Obviously, this is a different pricing tier. But I got these one day because I'd been thinking about buying it for a while, and then I had to go wait in line at the DMV. And so I ran past a big box electronic retailer. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to cop these, and if I don't like them, I'll return them. And I love them the second I put them in. The active noise canceling is phenomenal.
Fire. Like,
that's something that even with the Sony headphones in here, like, there's so many compromises on it. These have, like, almost no compromises. And then the noise canceling is like, unbeatable. Like, even compared to my QC25 Bose headphones, it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's true wireless.
That's nice.
It's super nice. And I wear these all day at work. Like, I'll do phone calls with them. I'll just listen to music while I'm doing work. So the fact that they're comfortable, they last all day, and the mic quality is really good, like, hands down.
Yeah.
Favorite tech product of the year.
Helps a lot. Okay, nice. I like that. And so I guess we kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Get 2 birds stoned at once?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
But for the next question, we're going to skip the why do you like it, because obviously we just went over that. I think everyone listening knows your answer to this, but is this a everyday use product?
Yeah.
And if so, why? If not, why?
For sure. And kind of the reasons I just listed, like, battery life allows it to be an all-day product. And even if they kind of cut out in the middle, you can put them in the case, and it takes like 15 minutes, and they're, you can still wear them for a couple hours. And then I really want to give a shout out to this Spigen case, because it's gonna be hard to pick up, but like, it like lifts it out of the case a little bit.
I like how it does it all at the same time. Oh man, that's...
Have you seen that yet?
I don't think I've actually seen that.
Oh, it's so cool.
That's nice.
It like presents the AirPods to you. Boop. See, like, it like lifts the case out with it too, so the top part doesn't flap off. It's really cool. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's absolutely an everyday product for me. It's absolutely something I use every day. And I know on the last episode, Zach and I were talking about over-ear headphones and how we're not really a big fan of them. And so these are by far my favorite pair of in-ear headphones ever. Yeah. They're super comfortable. I'll wear them all day.
I like that. Man, that's cool.
I do have to give a runner-up to, I know it's not technically a 2020 product.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Runner-up to the iPad Pro 12.9, because that is like my daily computing device too. Like, I can take that with me. I use it for podcast recording. iPads are now at the point that they can legitimately replace a laptop for, I'd say, 95% of what you need it to do.
That's fair.
Of course, it depends on your use case and all that stuff, but it's been indispensable, and like, I love using it every single day.
Oh, it's good. I like that. Okay, so for the next question, this may be really hard. Everyone that I've asked already, yeah, right. Everyone that I've asked has had a really hard time with this, especially when talking about the AirPods Pro.
Okay.
So in this case, if you could make it better, something to do with them to make them better whatsoever, what would that be? I know it's tough.
I think they could fix the silicone tips a little bit, and the reason they have them is just to get like a good seal on it. But I think they should go the way of the Sony in-ears, how they have the foam cups on it, for a couple reasons. One, I do have to kind of like readjust it every like 10 minutes or so, just because it does slip out a little bit. And then 2, it could do a little bit better with noise isolation, just because if you don't use active noise canceling, it sounds kind of blah, but the second you turn it on, it sounds great. Not that I ever use it without noise canceling, but if it had the foam isolation tips, it would fix the fit problem and the isolation problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, it just tried to connect my phone. That's funny.
Did it?
Okay, so for the second to last question here, why do you think someone should buy these, and not just these in general, but like you obviously have the options of like the normal AirPods. Why spend the extra money on the Pros versus the standard or the Anchor, whatever it may be?
Yeah.
Why should they buy the AirPod Pros?
It's a good question. I think somebody that's looking for the AirPods in general is looking for the convenience factor on it. And if you're looking for the AirPods Pro, it really comes down to noise cancellation for me. Like active noise canceling is what makes me love these as much as I do.
Okay.
And it can kind of forgive any other slight issue I have with it. So if you're looking for AirPods, again, that's going to be a convenience thing. Yeah, you like listening to music. Maybe you don't super care about the high fidelity or other things you can do with other headphones. But if you're looking in this price range, it's going to be convenience and then the active noise canceling.
Sure.
Absolutely dope.
Okay, I like that. That's good. And now I want to jump back onto your worst tech product, because I feel like this is going to be good.
Yeah, so I forget what episode it is. I should have really found it. But the Toshiba Fire TV is the most garbage television I have ever laid my hands on, and I still own it, and there's a reason why. The software is absolute trash. The remote is absolute trash. It disconnects every other day, and you have to do a full factory reset to get that thing repaired.
Don't you have the the new Google stuff now though?
I do now. So it got a little bit redeemed from the Google. Is it called Google TV now? What?
I think so.
I know it's a Chromecast, but it's like the new Google TV interface. Yeah. That is an absolute godsend, because I don't have to touch my old remote anymore, because the Google remote can take over all the functionality on it. Sure. So far and away, that TV pissed me off so much. I got a really good deal on it, which is why I still have it. But yeah, if I did not have a Chromecast, that thing would be on the curb right now for free.
I like it. Yeah, when I saw you pick that up, I was like, man, I feel like this may go poorly. Because I mean, obviously, like when you think about TVs, when I look at a TV, I know for a fact if I'm looking to buy one, I will not be using the software.
Right.
Because I'm so invested into Apple TV or even, whatever, maybe Fire Stick or whatever, just because I know that that's going to be a better experience. So truly, I'm only really buying the TV for the quality. Yeah. So that's why I bought my big one downstairs. Obviously, it was more of quality's not super great, but I mean, it's better than some TVs, but I know that I'm going to use an Apple TV. So in that case, I'm not going to spend all that extra money, because I'm not even going to use the software.
Yeah, because those interfaces get slow over time,
terrible.
Noticeably slow.
So bad.
Any software update is going to absolutely wreck your TV. So just invest in a streaming stick or find an Apple TV that you like. Which again, before I forget, I also had so it's a Fire TV, so it's got Amazon Fire software on it. In order to try to fix my first problem with the remote pairing, I bought a second Fire Stick to plug into it, because the Chromecast, the new one, wasn't out yet. And so I thought that would fix the problem. It did not. So screw you, Amazon. You're on my worst list this year. You're on my naughty list.
RIP.
Yeah. Okay,
so that was all for the questions here. Where can people find you?
Ooh, you can find me on Twitter. Just go to the PhoneBuzz stuff. That's the best place to find us. At PH1BUZZ. Give us a follow and review on Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Gotcha.
Or my Twitter is at crispyfish_15.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, buddy.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell the people who you is.
Who I is?
Who you is?
Well, I mean, I'm Devin. I kind of game here and there. Yeah.
And we work together.
We do work
for
together.
For people that don't know. So.
Yeah. Shit's crazy. It's crazy in the closet.
That's right. You gotta love it. No, but so let's explain and go over your favorite tech product.
So my favorite tech product would definitely be the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2. The reason why I would say that is because like just looking at the Series 1 and the Series 2, it's a huge improvement. Just the difference between this one and the first one, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, because I used the Series 1 before, and I have not tried the Series 2 yet. I don't have an Xbox anymore, and so there have been a lot of people that have like been bashing the first series.
It was terrible.
What's the big difference between them?
So like the big difference would definitely be like even the trigger stops, like the sensitivity of the buttons, like I guess the magnetism of the joysticks, because like I know for a lot of people like they would be pressing down on the joystick, it would just pop off mid game.
Man.
So then you have to like search around your apartment or wherever you're gaming to find your freaking,
Where'd it go?
yeah. So there's that, and there's like the grips on the sides of them. Like they would either run down really fast, or they would just literally just fall off the controller. So
in regards to kind of sum it up more, because you did say a lot of good things about it. Why do you like it specifically so much, or at least for the Series 2?
For the Series 2, I would like the thing that kind of got me to buy it was the trigger stops, and like you can adjust how stiff the thumbsticks are. So that's pretty nice.
That's cool.
So like if you overcorrect in like Call of Duty or something like that, like you can adjust it so it's like super stiff, so it like kind of makes it a little tougher for you to move the thumbstick. So
interesting.
That helped me a lot.
I did not know that it had those features. That's dope. That is cool. Okay, so in this case, I know that when me and you play on your computer. Would you say, I'm going to change up this question a little bit, because normally I would ask, if this is an everyday use product, but is this a product that you use when you play, or is it you use something else for your PC? How does that work?
No, without a doubt, I use this thing as much as I can.
Dope.
Like,
and it works for PC?
Huh?
It works on your PC?
Oh yeah, like when we're playing Call of Duty, like that's what I'm using. Like I'm using the controller. Like it works with Cyberpunk, it works with just about almost any game that isn't specifically PC, like Valorant, so to say. Like I can't really use it on Valorant. I wish I could. That would be awesome. But
that'd be cool. Good to know. Yeah, I didn't know if that was one of those things where like that controller specifically like needed to only work with Xbox, or else you could move it over. Oh, that's cool. I did not know you used that controller. From a step off of that question there.
Okay.
This may be kind of hard. This has typically been the hardest question for most people. If you can make that product better, what would you do to further better that product? It seems like that controller can do so much already with the paddles on the back, the extra grip, the D-pad, and stuff like that. So this is a hard one.
That's real tough. Because like when you use it on the Xbox too, like you can adjust, I guess, the joystick curve on it, like so, like where it gets sensitive or where it like whips super fast. I don't know if you can do that on the computer, so to say. I haven't really done too much research on that, but if it could, then that would be sweet.
So that would be it. Okay.
That would be one thing I would improve. Another thing would be, I would say, like instead of having just 3 levels on like the stoppers for the triggers, and then also the toughness of the joysticks, I would maybe give it like 5 notches.
Gotcha.
Because like you can have it super loose, like I guess there would be like, yeah, it's like it goes super loose, then regular, then super tight. I wish there was like a medium tightness, because I feel like I would live in that area.
I feel you. Interesting. That's cool. Okay, so for the final question, to kind of sum up everything we talked about, if you had to give a pitch why someone would buy it, you don't even have to do a pitch. Why overall would you say someone should buy that over, say, saving extra money and buying like a normal controller?
Oh, like okay, that's pretty easy then. So if you're gonna be like serious about like how competitive you are with gaming and or anything like that, I would definitely save your money and then buy a controller like this, because then you can use way more paddles and everything like that. Like you won't have to use your thumbs to like move over to like the D-pad. Yeah, like you get a lot of customability with this controller, so like you can fit it to your playstyle however you want it to be. So that's why I would get it too, because like if you didn't want to really use the D-pad too much, you can just use the paddles. Like I said, you get the trigger stops if you're an FPS player. So yeah, instead of just buying like a regular controller, I would definitely save up and buy this instead, because it's got a lot more versatility with it.
But before I used it to like its full capability and stuff, because I know for me, whenever I used my Series 1, I guess you can call it a Series 1, whatever the original one, it took me a lot of like forceful training to use the pads on the back, because I was so used to just clicking the buttons, and it was second nature. I mean, it was not second nature for me to just click those paddles on the back. So, you know, once I noticed once it was more of like, hey, I can force myself to do this and I can get good at it. And I started to get good at it. I mean, it was game over. I felt like I was just destroying everyone. It was so awesome. So I like that. That's a good tech product. Okay, well, Devin, go ahead and let us know where we can find you. You plugged your Twitch, plug it again, and any socials you want people to know.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, really at minigambino. Instagram, same thing, but the O will be a 0. Okay. Let's see what's else. Yeah, you got Twitch, twitch.tv /minigambino. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Cool.
Where you can find me at.
Well, I do appreciate you coming on, buddy.
No problem. Thank you.
How's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good. For the people that don't know, go ahead and explain who you are.
I am John Kraus. I am Evan's brother.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah? You a little nervous?
Not really.
Not really?
I've been on the podcast. I'm used to it.
That's fair. A similar environment. Yeah. Okay, so for this episode, obviously, like I just told you, I want to go over your favorite tech product. So what would that be for you? What is your product?
I would say it's my DJI Phantom 3 Standard.
Okay. And why do you love that product so much?
I used to be really into photography and videography, and it was kind of like a product that just set me aside from other beginners. Like, I never got really good or anything, but it was fun to just have the option to shoot aerial footage or photos. I got some really cool photos with it. It was just a lot of fun to play with.
Was that the one that I crashed into the house?
No, that was the first one I got, and then you didn't crash this one.
I just remember that. I remember it like chipped the paint and stuff on the side of the house.
It wasn't the worst.
Yeah, it definitely could have been worse, but I mean, you were not super happy.
Nah.
You were big pissed. All right, so for the next question, I know obviously you don't use it as much anymore.
Yeah.
For when you were like really serious about that and really into that, was that something that, obviously it's a little hard to do every day, but how often did you find yourself using it, or would you say it could be like an everyday product?
It was not an everyday product for me. It could be if that was my hobby, I would use it every day. But when I was into it, I would say it was like a once a week product.
Once a week product?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, like, where would be your favorite places you could like go and, fly it and get good photography or video?
The trail behind our house
Okay.
was a lot of fun to play with. And then like over a body of water, I really liked using it there and filming there. And where else did I? Whenever it snowed, it was a lot of fun just to go out into like a forest or anywhere with trees and film in the snow.
I like that. Yeah, those were always really cool. Like especially like the fall pictures and stuff. Oh my god! Because where we lived, we had a bunch of area like Twin Lakes and whatnot, dog park and everything. And I mean, there's trees everywhere. It's like all of the leaves fall and it's all nice and orange and red. It's so cool. Okay, so for the next question. Again, since it has been a little bit, it's maybe a little bit tougher. But if you could improve that product, and I'm not just talking about like, buying a different style drone.
Yeah.
But for the drone you used, what do you think you could have done, or would you've liked to have been different about that product?
Well, it's kind of hard to answer that question because since that drone has came out, there have been
so many before.
Plenty more new ones down the road that DJI has made.
In the time of when you got it, I guess. Was there a gripe you had about it?
I would have said better battery life.
Okay.
Sometimes the remote Wi-Fi was real bad, and it didn't I would just lose what the camera was seeing. And I knew that it was going to come back, but it was scary sometimes because it was
super
3,000 feet away, and I just couldn't see what was going on anymore.
Oh man, that freaked me out. And so, again, trying to, in this case, you can talk about other ones too. For having the experience of using a drone, why do you think someone should buy a drone over just like a standard DSLR or mirrorless camera, what that may be? Why a drone? Obviously, it seems pretty simple because it can go up in the air, right? Yeah. But we don't even need to talk about your series, but just I guess any drone in general.
Well, you can buy a used one that shoots 4K pretty cheap, and it's just sets yourself apart from different filmmakers.
Sure.
It gives you a bunch more shots that you can use, adds to your camera bag, and then I know I did this once, but if you don't have a gimbal in your bag to stabilize your video, you can just hold the drone and you don't have to fly it. You can just record and use it as a gimbal.
Oh, that's true, because yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So it's just like, it's not the easiest to film like that, but if you need to stabilize your video, you can without buying a new gimbal.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I mean, obviously, you have like, it's pretty obvious when you look from like your DSLR right in your hand to something way up above, but that's a good point. I didn't really think about that. I think for a lot of people, you know, some of the problem may be like stomaching the price.
Yeah.
Because when you're paying like $3,000 for a drone, or, you know, even like above $1,000 for a drone, that's a lot. Because you can pay for like a nice camera for like $300, $400, $500, right?
Yeah.
So
the new DJI ones, like the consumer level, I think you can get some for like $700 to $800.
Okay.
I got mine for like $500, and then if you're going for the big guns, those are like
thousands.
$2,000 minimum.
Oh man. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Sorry, that's kind of quick, but if you want people to know, where can they find you on socials?
You can find me on Instagram at House of Kraus.
House of Kraus.
And don't follow me on Twitter. I don't post anything.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, buddy. Well, I do appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, we're live. All right, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, thank you. So for the people that are listening, explain who you are, you know, what our connection is, you know, let the people know.
All right. So my name is Michael. Evan and I went to school together. We played baseball. We grew up. Played a whole bunch of video games together, and you know, just it's kind of like that's kind of how it is. Just we, you know, hung out there at school and you know played baseball and just had a blast.
That's right. Best buds from the beginning. Okay,
That's
so
a
fact. Okay, for your product, tell me what exactly your product is going to be and what you're trying to tell me.
So the Apple like AirPod Pros are like definitely a must.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely like the Apple AirPod Pros.
What do you think why do you like them so much, and what is your favorite part about them?
I like that they're kind of sleek, you know, like I have them on right now, and you can tell kind of, but it's just like they're sleek. You don't notice them.
Sure.
And the button on like the actual AirPod where you can like pause it, use Siri, go from like noise cancellation to transparency mode, fast forward in songs. It's just like it's a definite upgrade, I guess you could say.
Sure.
From like the original AirPods to the AirPod Pros, just because on the originals there's no buttons. You would have to like double tap or like triple tap to change songs, but on the Pros you have so much more capability to it.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, I'm also working with the AirPods Pro. God. Yeah, I love, you know, having that feature right there, easy to touch. You don't have to worry about smacking them into your ear. You know, all these little features, they're super nice to have, as well as, you know, compared to like the older model and stuff, having those like active noise cancellation and spatial audio and stuff is really cool. So yeah, no, that's awesome. And for your AirPods, are these like an everyday use product for you, or do you just kind of slap them in when you're listening to music or something?
Yeah, I use them all the time because I work in a very, very loud environment.
Okay.
And so whenever we're supposed to use hearing protection, I'm like, I'm gonna just do this in style, you know. And so I'll toss in my AirPods and I'll use the noise cancellation, and like we get up to like 100 or so decibels, which is like really loud.
Yeah.
And I'm probably no further away from like that noise in like 50 feet. And in like in most areas, I'm pretty darn close to it. So I'll just turn on the noise cancellation and like I can still hear it, you know, because it's not like an over the ear, and I'm also not listening to music, but it definitely helps the sound. And then like whenever I'm just like walking my dog, you know, I can turn on transparency mode, so I'm listening for cars while I can listen to music and, you know, enjoy being outside.
Nice. Okay, so for the next question, and this may be a really tough one. If you could make your AirPods Pro any better, what feature would it be?
Something I would do better is obviously the battery life. We can always do better on battery life.
Oh, for sure.
But that's one of the only things I have a gripe about. I would say just recently I've had trouble getting them connected to my phone every now and then, which it was super weird because it was like today and today only this morning. I had them connected to my phone, but I think whenever you leave the case open, sometimes there's like connection like interference.
Issues.
I don't really understand it, but it's like I was outside talking to my mom on the phone, and I had my case inside charging before I went to work. And I think I might have left the case open because it's happened before where it's like, if I leave the case open, stuff like this will happen. So I kind of want them to kind of get rid of it. So if you have the case open, it's not going to be like, I can hear the other person, but they can't hear me.
Sure. I hear you.
So I don't know if that's just like me alone happening too, but that's one thing I think would be really cool and probably an easy fix.
Okay, I like that. No, that's a good one. That's a good point. I haven't really thought about it like that because I know that like issues with now that they've implemented like where it can switch back and forth between your Apple products kind of on their own.
That is
I was like
a blessing.
So nice. Going back from like my Mac Mini and my MacBook and stuff, you know, that kind of stuff was so nice to have that feature. And so for the last question, typically you can see, you know, especially AirPods Pro, they're $250, right? So for a lot of people, sometimes that's kind of hard to swallow, the big pill to swallow. And so some people may resort to like your, you know, original AirPods or the second gen AirPods. But why do you think someone should buy the Pro model?
If noise cancellation and like the transparency mode is a big thing for you, then I definitely would say that is like, that's a reason why you should, you know, go and buy them, because like they're obviously $250. Like if you get them on sale, they're usually like 200 or so.
Yeah.
Like, which is still like pretty steep price, but if that's like a big thing for you, then I think you should definitely try to get it. Just because it's so different.
I like that.
But yeah, I think that's probably like the big thing of why it's so good, or why it's so expensive, and to also why it's kind of worth the price, if that makes sense.
There's so many different things that these can obviously do, but having it to where you get all the experiences you could pretty much ask for, or at least think you would like in this one product, all the different modes built into the headphones themselves. And it's like, for a lot of people, that $250 isn't so hard to swallow at that point, right? And so and I do appreciate you coming on here with me and
yeah, no problem,
me know, what you think about it. But well, buddy, I do appreciate you hopping on here. And,
yeah, no problem, brother.
I appreciate it.